Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, WWE Day 1, the first WWE Premier Live event. I guess that's what we're calling it now. There's no K-Show. I don't like the ending at all. I know we found out hours, minutes before the show started that, Roman Reigns did test positive for COVID-19. He was out, following protocol there, so they had to make a change. They wanted Brock on the card, so we put Brock in the WWE title match to make it a 5-way. Yeah, that happened. Start with the pre-show. We had Seamus and Ridge Holland versus Cesaro and Ricochet. Wasn't a bad pre-show match until Ridge Holland got literally kicked right in the nose. Looks like he broke his nose. He was taken to the back, so it became a 2-on-1 handicap match in which Seamus was able to come on top. Yeah, that happened. So you would think they would kind of change the outcome of it, but hey, they didn't. We had the team of Sheamus and Ridge Holland getting the victory. Ridge Holland was in the back, taking care of a broken nose. I give it 2 3/4 star. Next up, we had the SmackDown Tag Titles on the line. We had champion Usos versus the New Day, King Woods and Kofi Kingston. This was actually a really good match. This was the match of the night. Both these tag teams are just uber good. They've wrestled so many times. They know each other inside and out. There wasn't just this one little spot that popped out for me. Just knowing how good both these teams are, just enjoying the match. Watching the Usos end it with the 3D, and then even saying 3D, it's like that was kind of cool, kind of a homage to the Dudley Boys there. And the Usos getting the victory, retaining their tag titles. I give it 3 3/4 star, borderline 4-star. It was a great match. I'd like to see the New Day get over, but hey, you know what? They're already over, so you really didn't need to do that here. Next up, we had a Raw match with Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss, and Happy Corbin was out there. It's a little better than I thought it was going to be. McIntyre ended up getting the victory. I gave it 2 3/4 star. Next up, we had the Raw Tag Titles online. We had the Street Profits versus RK Bro. I'm actually shocked that team is still together. I'm surprised they haven't blown up already. I just also don't quite understand why we have Riddle as the high power for the MSK on NXT 2.0 and then having MSK wearing RK Bro shirts. I mean, I get the whole Grayson Waller coming to Raw and interacting with AJ. It builds Grayson Waller up, it builds the brand up. But having MSK wear RK Bro shirts, that's more building up RK Bro than it is building up MSK. So I don't get that at all. It was a good little match. We had the RK Bro retaining their tag titles, Randy Orton and Riddle. I give it 3.5. Now, backstage after this match, Drew McIntyre was attacked by Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. Seeing that's going to lead to a match between Corbin and McIntyre. Yeah, that's going to happen. Next up, we had Edge versus The Miz. Edge's entrance was pretty sick. It started out as the Brood, and then about halfway down the ring, it stopped. Went to "You Think You Know Me" and the whole pyro and him doing his normal entrance because the way with all the promos, Miz going, "You're not the old Edge. You're this Edge. It's old and decrepit. The old Edge, but it was this good and all this." This match was actually fairly good. We had Maurice getting involved, which kind of to me ruined it. And then you had at one point Beth Phoenix coming out, and not like she just ran out to help. She literally stood at the top of the ramp, just stood there, waiting for her music to start. Her music started, and she came down. Literally, they cut to her standing there like, "I need my entrance before I can come down there." And then she comes down there, Maurice is running around the ring, and then she chases Maurice off, and she stays down there. And basically, it was the distraction. Edge for the spear, get the pinfall victory on The Miz. Edge wins. I give it 3.5. Obviously, we're setting up for WrestleMania. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Miz and Maurice. So, calling that for Mania right now. Next up, we had the Raw Women's title line. We had champion Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Liv is getting better in the ring, but she's still not to the level of Becky Lynch. There was a couple spots where you thought, are they going to let her win here? And then no, definitely not. Becky Lynch ended up getting a victory. It was kind of a weird way she got it too, because it's like Liv had a submission hold on, and then Becky got out of it, and then a roll up pin and done. Becky won. I give it 3-star. I mean, it was watchable. And then we had a main event. We had our 5-way for the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens versus Big E. We all know the build-up. They're looking for an opponent for Big E. It was supposed to be Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens goes to Seth Rollins and said, Adam Pearce said, if I win my match, I'm in the title match at day one. Seth Rollins goes to wow, Adam Pearce, and Pearce like, I didn't say that, but he said you did. And then his assistant was like, that's not, Sonya Deville was like, that's not a bad idea, actually. Why don't we do that? And they ended up doing it. And then they all of a sudden add Bobby Lashley because he's got to be in it. And then since Roman's out, they need Brock Lesnar on the card. So we'll put Brock Lesnar in it. You had Seth Rollins and Owens working together. At first, it's like they were working together, but they're getting their asses kicked by Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Then Bobby Lashley speared Lesnar through where the timekeeper is, through the wall. Then you had them, Owens and Rollins, trying to put Lashley through a table, and then Big E came and put him through the announce table. And then you had Rollins and Owens using the stairs and taking everyone out. And then you had Brock Lesnar F5 everyone. It was kind of like, okay. I mean, the match itself, match quality-wise, there was a lot of work on the outside that I kind of took away from it for me. I ended up giving it 3 1/4. We had Brock Lesnar getting the F5 on Big E and for the pin after Big E trying to hit the bookend on Lesnar and unable to do it. So we had Brock Lesnar, your new WWE champion. So, SummerSlam was what, August? So we built from August through now. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman, the Tribal Chiefs Council, or the advocate. Which is he? He gets fired as the Tribal Chiefs Council. He's talking backstage like a broken man. He's not the advocate, but yet he advocated for Brock Lesnar to be a free agent to go on whatever show he wants. We build this up for so long just to put the other title on Brock Lesnar. So what does this do for the Universal title picture when Big E comes back? Are we going into a new era, the premium live event era, where we have one champion? Is this going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania to unify the Universal and WWE Championships? Are we finally going to do that? Only time will tell. We're on the road to Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is the 29th, and then we'll be on the road to WrestleMania. Right now, I'm calling it Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Miz and Maurice at WrestleMania. Well, that's going to wrap up WWE Day 1 review. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content. Make sure you check out the New Japan Pro Wrestling and Wrestle Kingdom 16 preview. And upcoming on Robert Sports Show, we'll have the best of AEW and the best of Game Changer Wrestling 2021. Have a great night.